Wait, Piana, tingnan mo. May napulit akong libro.
Ano yan? Philosophical analysis?
Oo, Analysis of Knowledge Claims daw. Halika, basahin natin.
Ang sketchy tignan. Baka mo-superbook tayo dyan na. Bigla baka higupin tayo ng libro.
Hindi, ano ka ba? Imposible naman yun. Ata?
Ay, basta pag nawirduhan ako, bounce na ako.
Oo na. Mukhang maganda naman eh. Simulan na natin. Ikaw mag-start.
Bakit ako? Ikaw nakahanap. Kung mauna, kaya mo na yan.
Bakit ka kasi nananakot? Okay, legit. Ito na. Wow!
Yun na ba? Tingnan mo, matatakot ka na naman nangyari.
Ay, wala ba? Okay. Ito na talaga, babasahin ko na. Once upon a time, in the vast realm of philosophy, there were three central issues that captivated the minds of scholars and thinkers. This realm was a treasure trove of profound inquiries where philosophers embarked on quests to uncover the essence of knowledge. These issues dwelled in the domain of epistemology, the branch of philosophy concerned with the theory of knowledge. It was in the intricate web of these issues that the distinct paths of the rationalist and the empiricist philosophers were revealed. Picture a world where these questions hung in the air like ancient riddles, waiting to be deciphered by those bold enough to venture into the labyrinthine corridors of human thought.
O yun yung epistemology.
Ayun sabi, theory of knowledge daw. So, feel it involves the philosophical study of the nature, origin, pati yung limits of human knowledge as well as our justified beliefs.
So, explore ba natin yan yung nature of knowledge?
Hindi lang yun, pati yung source at yung validation ng knowledge claims na sinabi.
Tapos, sinasabi pa na may magkaibang thoughts yung rationalist at empiricist daw. So, parang debate ba yun?
Baka, hindi pa natin alam ano yung mga rationalist at empiricist na yan eh.
Okay. Sign pa natin. I take back what I said. I think more interesting nga siya.
O, diba?
So, tuloy na natin ulit. At the heart of epistemology lay the timeless quest for knowledge. Scholars sought to define what constituted knowledge and how it differed from mere belief. The first issue is, what is the source of knowledge? Was knowledge born from our senses, those delicate messengers of the world's secrets, or did it emerge from the profound depths of reason, like a hidden gem waiting to be unearthed? In the realm of epistemology, two major traditions emerged to provide answers.
Feel ko yung senses and reason na sinasabi yung stand ng mga philosophers. Sila siguro yung two major traditions.
Feel ko yung reason sa rationalist, tapos yung senses sa mga empiricists.
Sige, wala mo yan ha. Basahin natin para malaman natin if totoo. Nakaka-curious na tuloy ako. In the dimly lit chambers of epistemology, a fierce debate raged on. On one side were the rationalists, who saw reason as a lighthouse amidst the stormy seas of uncertainty. To them, reason's light shone brightly, guiding them to the shores of certain formal knowledge. It was as if they gazed upon a constellation of stars, each point representing a truth that, when connected, formed the very fabric of knowledge itself. They trusted in the power of human intellect and argued that it could provide a solid foundation for certain knowledge. Mathematics, logic, geometry, and algebra were their guides, leading them toward the path of formal knowledge. They embraced the coherent theory of truth, which proclaimed that if a proposition harmonized with other true propositions, it was indeed true.
Sandali, process ko lang. So, may heated argument na nangyayari about how we can really know things. Tapos, yung isang panelist mga rationalists.
Yup. So, according sa kanila, reason daw yung pinaka-source ng knowledge natin. Like, yung power natin to think logically is the only way to gain knowledge.
Tapos, para rin sa kanila, if an idea makes sense and fits with other true ideas, it must be true.
Oo daw. Ay wait, may katuloy pa. To them, the senses were but unreliable messengers prone to deception. To illustrate their point, they offered a series of classical perceptual illusions, mirage in the desert of sensory perception. Towers appeared shorter in the distance and taller up close, or submerged in water bent but straight. Blue mountains lost their color up close, and parallel railroad tracks converged mysteriously. Rationalists championed the coherence theory of truth. To them, a proposition was like a puzzle piece that fits perfectly into the grand mosaic of knowledge if it cohered with other accepted truths.
So, skeptical pala sila na i-trust yung mga senses natin since sabi nila it could easily trick us. Like when things seem different than they really are. These naman sa examples nila, I think valid naman. Kaya pala mas trust nila yung reason and logical consistency more than just what our senses tell us.
Oo nga eh, basahin natin yung isa pa. On the other side of the philosophical stage stood the empiricists, in contrast to rationalists who upheld the importance of reason but acknowledged the necessity of the five senses in experiencing the physical world. To them, justifiable beliefs were like rare treasures, attainable only through the adventures of direct experiences. It's like they saw the world as a grand stage and our senses were the actors, bringing the play of reality to life. Reason, while valuable, could provide formal knowledge but lacked empirical content, the raw, unfiltered experiences of the world. Empiricists were not content with one theory of truth. They embraced both the coherence and correspondence theories of truth.
Naniniwala din pala sa reason pero may kasamang senses natin. So, sabi nila na beliefs or things we consider true should be based on our actual experiences.
Oo. So, parang if you've seen, heard, touched, or experienced something, then you could have a good reason to believe it's true. Parang ito yung sinasabi na to see is to believe.
Dalawa din yung theory na pinapaniwalaan nila. Aside sa coherence theory, meron din correspondence theory.
Feel ko, dalawa yung theory nila para ma-align sa real world experiences nga. Pero wait, ano ba kasi meaning ng correspondence theory of truth?
O nga, no, hindi sinabi. Yung coherence kasi alam na natin eh. Ewan. Pero tama yung hula ko kanina. Ang reason ay for rationalists at ang senses ay for empiricists.
Umamin ka na ikaw nagsalat nito, no?
Tama, ako si Acuña at isa akong philosopher.
The revelation? Anyways, tuloy muna natin pagbabasa para malaman natin.
As the story unfolds, the second issue loomed large. What is the true nature of knowledge? The rationalists were led by illustrious figures. Plato, a sage of ancient times with his theory of forms, posited that behind every sensory perception lay an eternal and perfect reality, a form. For Plato, human reasoning was the key to approaching these transcendent forms. Descartes, armed with the pure light of reason, cast doubt on sensory testimony, relying on reason to access the essence of intellectual and physical substances, like he wanted to strip away all the layers of uncertainty and reach the core of what's real through sheer intellectual power. Spinoza's intellectual love of God led him to see a single infinite substance in the universe. Leibniz distinguished between truths of reason and truths of fact, relying on rational reflection to access all knowledge. Leibniz was like a philosopher architect, building a fortress of knowledge with two distinct kinds of bricks.
Wait, so may apat na rationalists, tapos iba-iba yung ideas nila. So, una si Plato, naniniwala siyang may forms behind everything we see and maintindihan natin to through our thinking. So parang it's like he saw our minds as bridges that could connect us to these higher realms of knowledge. Tapos next one is si Descartes. Denout niya senses natin and he purely relied on reason to understand the essence of things. As far as I know, siya din yung nagsabi nung I think therefore I am eh. So si Spinoza, so parang he saw the universe as a vast interconnected web of existence, all stemming from this one infinite source called God. Maka-Diyos ito eh. Last is Leibniz. Sabi niya, may two kinds of truths, those that make sense and those that are facts. Naniniwala siyang we could know everything by thinking about it.
Grabe, no? Iba-iba idea nila about knowledge, pero all comes to one point. All about thinking talaga siya.
Oo nga eh. Medyo naiintindihan ko na yung side ng mga rationalists kung bakit nila nasasabing source of knowledge ang reason. So tuloy pa natin. In contrast, empiricists argue that the five senses were our only connection to the physical world. Empiricists like John Locke believe that all ideas originated from sensations and reflections. George Berkeley's idealism and immaterialism led him to assert that everything exists either in the mind or depends on the mind. David Hume dissected human perception into impressions and ideas, emphasizing the importance of empirical experience. As the rationalists and empiricists clashed, their debates reverberated through the hallowed halls of epistemology, sparking intellectual fires that illuminated the search for truth.
So, mas na-explain dito na naniniwala yung empiricists that are five senses like seeing, touching, and hearing were the only way we could understand the real world. Inisip nila lahat ng ideas natin, galing talaga sa experiences natin.
For example, si Locke. So para sa kanya, every idea we have starts with something we see, feel, or think. So all about the senses nga. Tapos si Berkeley naman, naniniwala na lahat ay either nag exist sa utak natin or nakakadepende yung existence sa utak natin. Like, alam ko may motto siyang to be is to be perceived. Tapos itong si Hume, sabi niya, our perceptions is nakadivide into two, which was impression, yun yung sensations, passions, pati yung emotions natin, and ideas, which are faint images in our thinking and reasoning. May rule din na sina-follow si Hume. Like, if there's no strong feeling or experience behind an idea, he didn't think it was reliable. He wanted to commit to the flames or get rid of ideas that he didn't have a strong impression behind them.
Balita ko nga si Humes nakalimutan niya about sa impressions and ideas eh. Bigla naging relations of ideas and matters of fact na lang siya. Like, you believe that our emotions and feelings will give us real knowledge. However, when you look at things like logical relationships or human relations of ideas and matters of facts or what's true about the world, kind of ignored the importance of emotions and focus more on reason and evidence.
Totoo, may mga inconsistencies siya sa rule niya. Like, alam ko din, nag-agree si Leibniz tsaka si Hume together. Kasi yung kay Leibniz, truth of reason, pati truth of facts. Pero yung kay Hume, relations of ideas, pati matters of fact. So basically, parang pareho lang sila ng sinabi. Ay, wait, ito nakasulat sa book yung sinabi ni Hume about impressions and ideas. All the perceptions of the human mind resolve themselves into two distinct kinds, which I shall call impressions and ideas. The difference between these consists in the degrees of force and liveliness, which they strike upon the mind, and make their way into our thought or consciousness. Those perceptions, which enter with most force and violence, we may name impressions, and under this name I comprehend all our sensations, passions, and emotions as they make their first appearance in the soul. By ideas, I mean the faint images of these in thinking and reasoning, such as, for instance, are all the perceptions excited by the present discourse, excepting only those which arise from sight and touch, and accepting the immediate pleasure or uneasiness it may occasion. I believe it will not be very necessary to employ many words in explaining this distinction.
Kaya ano daw, sandali. Grabe, hinahinay naman. Grabe nilibrato, di ko na naiintindihan.
Basta parang in-explain lang ni Yung kung ano, paano nag-work yung utak natin pag nag-iisip, like yung thoughts natin. So either strong and immediate daw, yung impressions, or weaker and more reflective, which is yung ideas nga.
Eh, di pinahaba lang yung sinabi kanina. Sumakit pa yung ulo ko doon. Ito may isa pa. All the objects of human reason or inquiry may naturally be divided into two kinds, to wit, relations of ideas and matters of facts. Of the first kind are the sciences of geometry, algebra, and arithmetic, and in short, every affirmation which is either intuitively or demonstrably certain. Propositions of this kind are discoverable by the mere operation of thought, without dependence on what is anywhere existent in the universe. Matters of fact, which are the second object of human reason, are not ascertained in the same manner, nor is there evidence of their truth, however great, of like nature with the foregoing. The contrary of every matter of fact is still possible, because it can never imply contradiction. That the sun will not rise tomorrow is no less intelligible a proposition, and implies no more contradiction than the affirmation that it will rise. In-explain lang niya yung relation of ideas and matters of fact dito eh.
Oo nga. Feel ko na-explain din yun sa last part. Anyways, let's continue with the story.
The story's final act centered on how knowledge claims were validated. It was the 20th century, a time of upheaval and change. In this era, a dogma emerged that divided knowledge claims into two categories, relations of ideas and matters of fact.
Ito na nga yung sinasabi ni yung kanina. So, siya yung parang naging widely accepted na idea, yung dogma nga about knowledge claims. So, to continue, relations of ideas, often termed analytic statements, were considered matters of logic, formal, and a priori knowledge claims. Denying them led to a contradiction. Matters of fact or empirical statements arose from empirical knowledge claims. Denying them did not entail contradiction. In the end, epistemology stood as a testament to the enduring human quest for knowledge and understanding. It was a realm where rationalists and empiricists clashed, each offering their unique perspective on the nature of knowledge and belief.
I think the relations of ideas were considered statements that could be understood through logic and reasoning alone. Tapos yung matters of facts were based on empirical evidence and observations of the real world. Para in the end, pinagsama lang yung claims ng rationalists and empiricists to make a whole new and better claim.
For example nga, dun sa relations of ideas, para mas maintindihan. In mathematics, pag sinabing 2 plus 2 equals 4, tama, di ba? So, pag tinanay mo yung statement, it would lead to a contradiction because they are true by definition. These claims are often seen as a priori, meaning they could be known independently of experience. Sa matters of fact naman, for example, saying the sun rises in the east is a fact. Pero pag dinanay mo yung statement, it wouldn't necessarily lead to a contradiction because they are contingent on what we observe in the world. These claims were often seen as a posteriori, meaning they were known through experience.
As the journey through epistemology continued, philosophers persisted in their pursuit of truth, guided by reason, experience, and the perennial desire to unlock the mysteries of the human mind. Central issues of source, nature, and validation of knowledge continue to shape philosophical discourse, inviting thinkers to ponder the foundations of what we know and how we come to know it.
The story of epistemology continues an eternal voyage into the depths of human thought, where the quest for knowledge and the nature of belief remain forever intertwined, waiting for the new philosophers to step into the spotlight and carry the torch of inquiry forward into the unknown. To be continued.
To be continued daw. Wala tayong pa nating tanong eh.
Oo nga, what? May mga unanswered questions and unexplored territories pa tayo dun sa realm of epistemology. First book ba to or what?
Grabe yun pala. Hindi man lang first part ng book na pulot mo. Kulang-kulang tuloy.
OMG, oo nga. Hey, we've only scratched the surface of this profound subject. As we close this chapter, let's remember that the book of epistemology is still open and there's much more to be written in the ongoing quest for knowledge and understanding.
Sige nga, let's recap. So, may rationalist and empiricist. Yung rationalist, ina-accept lang niya is one source of knowledge, which is reason. Formal knowledge lang rin ina-accept nila like logic, algebra, and geometry. Tapos, meron one theory of truth, which is the coherence theory of truth.
Tumpak mo. In contrast naman, yung mga empiricists nag-accept ng two sources of knowledge, namely reason and experience. Meaning, nag-accept din sila ng two types of knowledge, which are analytical and empirical. Tapos, since dalawa lahat yun, dalawa din yung theory of truth nila, yung coherence at yung correspondence theory of truth.
So, para mabilis siya alalahanin, one lahat ng sa rationalist and sa empiricist naman, nagiging dalawa siya. Ay, hindi man na-explain kung ano yung correspondence theory.
Bitin na bitin ako, please. Paano ako makakatulog ng matiwasay nito?
Talaga naman, lika nga hanapin natin saan mo napulot yun, baka nandun yung katuloy na book.
Tingnan mo, invested ka na rin.
Siyempre, no, kung magbabasa ka na nga ng ganyang karami, dapat kumpleto na.
Okay, tara, balikan na natin saan ko napulot.